Hello indie game fans! We are back in business with a slew of interesting indie games this week, with the top 10 best indie games of the week, starting with Ephemeral Tale, a classic dungeon crawling turn-based JRPG but with a twist. Rather than what is standard in these games and set equipment upgrades with fixed stats, this instead has randomized loot, so quite an interesting combination of turn-based and action RPG genres. Curious to see how far this game takes it, and while the visuals are definitely from some engine, the enemy sprites look original enough, though I could be wrong. The anime turn-based JRPG Orange Blood pops up yet again since I love the genre, and this one, set on a man-made island off the coast of Okinawa, looks like quite the interesting environment to explore. The developer describes it as a dirty and exotic vibe, which seems to be some sort of take on modern day Macau, but the combat looks fun and I hope the story is intriguing.
Can you hear me? The shadows are dangerous. Stay away from the shadows. An escape plan is in development. Think the floor is lava, just with shadows that absorb organic material.
Light Matter is a first-person puzzle game that, in the tradition of many games before it, plays with light and shadow. I quite like the look of this title, which I think can be described as cel-shaded, but the overall atmosphere looks well done. Hope the puzzles are good, and maybe it might scratch that portal itch.
Here comes a new challenger!
A long way down is yet another roguelite deck builder, following on from Slay the Spire. However, this seems to be party-based as well, so perhaps a little of that SteamWorld Quest influence, with tile-based dungeon crawling as a central mechanic as well. In a similar fashion, it releases into early access, but has an awesome art style with ample use of shadows.
Toaster Ball is a ball game usually played by 2 to 4 players, divided in 2 teams. The object of the game is for your team to score 5 points before the opposing team by throwing the ball into their goal. It is also important to note that all the players are toasters. So, how do you play? To play with the ball, simply hold down one of the buttons on your toaster for a short time. Release it, and voila! Your toast flies through the air, and so does your toaster. The longer a button is pushed down, the higher you will jump. But don't press too long or you might burn your toast. Remember, each ejection also makes you jump, which allows you to move across the field with great agility. From there, any means are allowed to put the ball inside your opponent's goal.
Toaster Ball was a quirky little competitive title that I stumbled upon on Kickstarter a little while back, and is essentially handball, only you and your opponents are toasters. The body of the toaster and the toast itself can be used to deflect the ball, and it looks like multiplayer fun. Super Crush KO is a cartoony action platformer where your cat has been kidnapped by deadly robots and you have to get it back. I quite like the art and animation, reminding me of cartoons with upgrades and abilities that are dependent on food items, but not sure if these are permanent or just temporary power-ups. Simple but fun, and I hope it controls well. Simulacra 2 is the follow-up to the 2017 game, and both are meta investigative thrillers that use full motion video as a medium to tell its story.
Nice spot for a quiet date, huh? I bet you're wondering what the great Detective Murillo is doing meeting up with a newspaper hack like you. Look, I'm desperate, okay? I think this case is right up your alley. No one in the department has my back on this. I need someone on the outside. Just my luck, you're the only one I can trust. You say you're the best at digging up dirt, huh? Well, here's your chance to prove it. In return, you get the scoop of a lifetime. Turn the phone on when you're alone. I'll give you more instructions then. Don't make me regret this.
An influencer is dead, and you have to go through her phone messages, videos, and social media in order to find out what happened. This sequel allows you to play from two perspectives and is suitably creepy in that Black Mirror kind of way. Yet another entry in the roguelite deck builder is Spellsword cards DungeonTop, where you draw equipment and units, place the latter on the board, and use the former at the right time. Your heroes can level up, and there is node-based dungeon crawling as well, but the core of the strategy is where and when to place your units on the board. This is interesting to me since things like flanking, tanking, and rushing come into play, where formations are not commonly a factor in other games. So its unique selling point does intrigue me. Additionally, it also has such an awesome art style that I can't get enough of, so I hope that early access will be good for them. There are a couple of smaller horror titles that look like classic Japanese RPGs that I'm pretty intrigued by, and developer Strenga continues to put these out, with My Big Sister last year and now Red Bull. Play as a young girl stuck in a bizarre nightmare, with body horror and creepy creatures in the mix as well. These look like Game Boy titles, but with an adventure game slant as you walk around, get items, solve puzzles, and so on. Seems pretty creepy but of interest. I was very pleasantly surprised to find out that LENNA'S Inception was releasing this week. This is an action-adventure game similar to Zelda, but mixed with a little bit of Evoland with an unconventional story that could be interesting. The legendary hero is dead, and you, the trainer of said hero, has to pick up the slack. explore the world, defeat the 8 Archangels and save the world. There's a strange glitch spreading throughout the country, so perhaps some meta elements of Undertale or Pony Island in this, with the ability to switch between 8 and 16-bit art styles. Seems neat and could be quite cleverly designed, and is a title which I have been looking forward to, so it takes the #1 spot. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share and subscribe, check out the recommended playlist or the best pick for you, and I will see you after the jump.